Welcome to Our Philippine Life. I'm Todd. Hazel's at work today, and Leilani's in school. I want to take just a moment to give a shout out to some friends and subscribers. Angie and Dan of Pinay Tubo, Chris Wren of the Brit in the Philippines, John Horton, Our Philippine Adventure, Dan Brackett, Amazing Philippines, The Corner, Phil Am in Europe, David Allen, and Mark Vance. Um, Thank you very much for supporting the channel, and thank you. Today I just want to give you a brief update as to where we are in our moving process. And by the way, did any of you watch the third debate last night between Trump and Clinton? It was interesting, not only because of some of the things that were said, but also because some of the things that were not said. One of the things that I heard that really caught my ear was when Clinton said that it was necessary to retake Mosul so that the U.S. could launch attacks into Syria. Last time I checked, Syria was being occupied in part by Russia, their ally. Russia and Syria working together. And Russia has now declared a no-fly zone in Russia. So I'm just thinking, if the Russians are there in Syria and the U.S. Army marches in from Mosul, wouldn't that be a problem? Maybe? I don't know. I'm just thinking. I don't know if the Russians would just wave to us as we drive by in our tanks, or if maybe they might start shooting at us. Could be. If we have air cover for our troops and the Russians have declared a no-fly zone, is it possible that the Russians might shoot down our planes? Sounds possible to me. And Clinton said that she would institute her policies within the first 100 days of office. Okay, so that would put it, if she's sworn in on January 20th, 100 days out, would be like, what, the end of April, roughly? So I'm thinking there's a distinct possibility we could be at war with Russia between now and the end of April. I could easily see how that might happen. Not saying it will, saying it could. Now, if Trump wins the election, which I don't think they will allow, there's so much massive voter fraud going on right now that's been documented. But if through some miracle he was elected president, I'm not worried about it. Even the presidential candidate for the Green Party said she wasn't worried about it. A nuclear war if Trump got elected. She could sleep at night feeling safe. But I think if that happened, we would stay here in the U.S. until the end of 2017. That way we would have my Social Security pension coming in, and we'd have a monthly income when we retired. But if that did not happen, if there's any other situation, whether Clinton wins or the elections are canceled or there's any other, fill in the blank outcome on November 8th, we're going to start packing immediately. We have the Balacabayan boxes. We'll just start packing our boxes, shipping stuff out. I do have surgery scheduled for November the 11th. So the election is on Tuesday, and my surgery is on Friday. the following Monday, um, we could be shipping out our stuff or packing our stuff, getting ready to ship out, and we would take the next flight out as soon as everything is shipped. We could be in the Philippines by Christmas, potentially. That wasn't my first plan, but it's something we're looking at. I would prefer that we stay here until Hazel gets vested in the Social Security program herself. She's supposed to have 40 credits earned in the Social Security system. She has 36 credits. And she earns roughly 1 credit per month. So it would be the end of March or the end of April before she would have her 40 credits. But if we can stay here that long, if there's nothing crazy going on in the world by that point, then we would stay long enough to get her vested in the Social Security system. And then we would move. We're not going to be able to stay here for Leilani's graduation from VPK. I wish we could, but I just don't feel safe here. If you watch the alternative news networks, which is the only place you can get the whole news, not the filtered news you get on the mainstream media, but the real news going on around the world, there's a lot of stuff going on around the world. And some of it's pretty scary. And I don't believe every rumor that, some conspiracy theorist cooks up. But if someone says that, for example, if someone says that there are UN armored vehicles on the streets in the USA being warehoused somewhere, and they're getting ready for gun confiscation, okay, where's the evidence for that? Show me the proof. And then they show video of parking lots filled with armored vehicles painted white with the UN markings, and on the fenders it says weapon confiscation team, or words to that effect. If I were to see that, I would say, okay, could be true. And actually, I have seen those videos. Those videos are on YouTube. You can look it up yourself. There are half a dozen of them. In fact, maybe I'll post some of them in a link at the end of this video. But anyways, the point is, I believe we're moving towards war. One of my subscribers said that they're beating the drums of war, and I agree. I think that is happening. And I think we're getting very close. And I don't know when it's going to happen. Recently, Joe Biden, the idiot vice president, was interviewed on some live TV show, CNBC or something like that. And he said, we believe that Russia has hacked into the DNC. Well, obviously somebody did, but there's no evidence it was the Russians. Could be the Chinese, could be the North Koreans, could be the Iranians, could be a bunch of different people. But the narrative is that it's the Russians. So Biden says that he's going to, the U.S., not him personally, but the U.S. government is going to launch cyber attacks on Russia, and they'll do it at a time of their choosing. And the interviewer asked, will the Russians know? And Biden said, oh yes, they'll know. And then, will the American people know? And Biden said, I hope not. But you can imagine how Russia might respond if it was made clear that the United States was hacking into their government computer systems. I don't think they would take it kindly. And but they want to poke the bear, poke the bear. And so Russia's response to this news was that there may be war with the United States before the November elections. That's what the Russian government said. And if there is war with Russia before the November elections, I'm screwed. I can't get out before then. But if it occurs, next year sometime, we should have time to get out. Like I said, we're going to start shipping our stuff out soon. And as far as when we will get on a plane, I don't know yet, but we're looking at it being sooner rather than later, perhaps before the end of January. So that's where we stand. It's not the way we would like to see the world turn out. There's a lot of things going on that we don't like, we don't want to see happen, but it's happening. Duterte is pushing out the Americans from the Philippines, at least the American military forces. They don't want to do joint exercises anymore. They don't want to patrol the Scarborough Islands anymore. He's pivoting to China, giving China a warm hug, and inviting the Chinese military to, link up with the Philippine military. Beijing is Duterte's new best friend. I don't know what that's going to do to the Philippines. I don't think it's going to be anything good. I can tell you I've been monitoring the dollar to peso exchange very closely in the past couple of weeks. I've seen it go up as high as 48.77 pesos to the dollar, and then just suddenly drop as low as 47.09 pesos to the dollar. Right now, it's sort of inched its way up to about 48.19 roughly, but it's been bouncing up and down a lot in the past 2 weeks. If it had gone to 49 pesos to the dollar, I would have transferred our money right away. I don't know if it's going to get back that high or not. I hope it does. I just don't know. There are so many variables, so many things changing politically. And it seems like everybody wants war, war, war. And it's very unsettling. But if we can make it to the Philippines, we will buy our house and lot, buy a car, and keep a low profile. And just hope that whatever is going on in the world, that it will pass us by. And so I appreciate your thoughts and prayers, especially as I go into surgery. I wish that each one of you are safe and well. And thank you for watching our Philippine Life. See you next time. Bye.